The general opinion was basically that the patient's immune system had to be built up. Thus, everybody produces its own endogenous cancer cells. And we have leukocytes as well. Those are the killer T cells that attack and destroy cancer cells. But the number of killer T cells is linked to the immune system. That is, in a patient whose immune system is at rock bottom, the number of killer T cells is also at rock bottom, so that his body can't cope with the problem. So he inevitably slips into this situation, and because the cancer cells flow through the body with the blood, they get stuck where the most energy is present, the most radiation. And today we know that these points are primarily grid intersection points. We have an accuracy rate of over 80% down to the centimeter, even though we don't know the people at all and have no idea where they actually sleep or where in their body the disease is located. And that's really remarkable. That's simply too high a figure to be designated as a coincidence. And thus, somewhere in this region is one of these intersection points, roughly 30 centimeters squared, there where I sleep. And these cancer cells require 7 times more energy for growth than normal cells. That means the cancer cells want to congregate at such intersection points, because that's the best milieu for them, where they grow the fastest. And that's why we have this high accuracy rate.
So both your parents are still alive?
Yes.
You've obviously found the right treatment or the right approach to the problem. Was that the beginning of a complete reorientation of your father too?
Well, for one thing, we got in touch with Dr. Erich Klemke, who was conducting trials on a drug named tumosterone, which hasn't made it onto the market to date, which actually would have been relatively... He was a very ambitious man who had good ideas, but, let me put it this way, he was silenced. And those who did so tried to sweep the subject under the carpet. We'll leave the question of the intrigues going on in the background open. In any case, Mum was treated with this formula back then, and 6 weeks later her cancer was gone. And everyone was going crazy. The entire medical team was utterly amazed and said it was a miracle. Today we know that it had nothing to do with miracles, but that it was a matter of consistently pursuing this path that we said, okay, if we have a cause, radiation, whatever, which takes the immune system down, then we have to remove these factors from the person. Yeah, I have to get the person away from the radiation. I have to try to eliminate the electronic pollution somehow. Today we have the big issue of high-frequency radiation as well. That didn't exist in its current form back then. And so I have to see how I can get the person's immune system up and running again. And when we look at the alternative methods available today, the alternative methods of curing cancer, they all work according to the same principle, namely getting the person's immune system working well again. And that is actually the crucial factor. So after we had this experience, that is, experienced firsthand how quickly the disease was eliminated and how quickly my mother recovered, my dad came and said, for goodness sake, when we know that we have these problems at home, what are the solutions? Back then, there weren't any. Then he began to pick out the engineers, scientists and physicians from the Cancer Symposium group that he thought would work well together, and that's how the Friedrichshafen Geopathic Stress Working Group came about, and the members began to experiment and develop solutions. And what we know today about radiation protection is based largely on the work of this group.